And today we will work with the most famous, I think, code flow, the most the example of code which is very simple to find in your projects. It's a duplicate code. Duplicate code we can find everywhere. We always use copy paste, Control C, Control V, and repeat. And it can be the source of a lot of problems, because when we want to change anything, we should to change it in all copy paste parts. And we can find the duplication code with two types. First of all, it's explicit duplication. It can be when we use Ctrl C, Ctrl V, because it's just identical code in several parts of your system. And we can find implicit duplication when we have the several parts of code with maybe another structure, but the same goal, the same maybe some of comments, and so this code has difference, but not all, and it does the same things. First of all, it's the first example. In this lesson, I will show you the examples of bad code and ask you to suggest some variants how we can make this code more readable, or just how we can remove the duplication of code. These examples are very simple, just to make your life easier. And I will use Java as a programming language in this lecture and other lectures, just because Java is very understandable, it's very simple, and even if you use C# or another languages, I think this code you can read. It's very simple. And please, in this lecture, you can just answer my questions with your voice. Please tell me how we can remove the duplication code in this situation, when we have two parts of code, this one and the second one. And here I think you can see that we have only one difference with name of our customer. How to remove the duplication code in this situation? How do you think? Function. Yes, you are absolutely right. It's very simple, but I think we should repeat this method of refactoring. Create new function. And in theory of refactoring, we call this method of refactoring extract method. We can use extract method in all times, I think. We can use it when we have very long method. We can just extract some part of it. We can use it to remove the duplication and add the parameter to this method. We can use it everywhere. Oh, I forgot to change this, to translate this part. In every slide with bad code, with refactoring method example, I have this special icon with the number of page and the surname of author of book. I will change it to English, of course. If you don't understand something about extract method, you can just open the book of Fowler with page 132 and repeat this information. Extract method we can use to separate long method. I already told you, to eliminate duplication, and sometimes to highlight a section of code that requires comment. Now in programming we think that Comment, it's not so good idea. Comment means that your code not so readable. It means that you should refactor it. But sometimes we have very complex part of code in some algorithms, for example, maybe some matrix operations or something else. And we can't rewrite this code without comments. In this situation, we can increase the readability of our code if we will create new method with long name with some description what this code do. In this way, we should not use comment because we have all the information what we need in the name of our new function. And it's very important to remember about name of new function. If you created new function or new method, it's very important to create name of this function, and in this name we should answer the question what this method do, but not how it does something. It's very important. We will talk about the naming of functions and classes, as far as I remember, on the next week in the good code lection. But please don't forget about this little rule. And the next simple example of code duplication, we have little hierarchy of classes, like in this diagram. And we have the same methods in class soldier and in class tank. How we can improve this code? How we can change the duplication and remove it? Guys, it's very simple. I think you know the answer. Call the method inside the parent class. Yes, but not to call the method. We should implement the method inside the parent class. We should move our methods getHealth to the unit because we have the same code. And this refactoring method we call pull-up method. We can use it when we have the same code in the children classes. We just can move them to the parent class, and we will have this situation without duplication code. And the next case, it's more complex than previous, and here we have two subclasses with the same level, but code does not match completely. And here I have this example. I have a class shop item with name and price. For example, I want to implement system like Ozon or Wildberries. And here I have shop item and child of shop item. It's a device and book. And here I have the method getDeviceDescription and getBookDescription. And these two methods look similar, but with some differences. Like here I have shop item, it's the same. Device with name and book with title, it's a difference. Device price and book price, it's a difference. And here I have difference because I add price multiplied by 2. And I want to remove this duplication code. I want to use the same method to create device description. How I can do this? And I can cheat a little. I think I can help you. Here we can use design pattern. Maybe you have suggestions how to solve this problem? No ideas. Okay, let me help you. Here we can use a special design pattern which we called template method, and refactoring method will be called form template method. What is template method? It's a special pattern which allows us to create the same methods in children classes, but with some differences. How we can do this? We have the parent class here, and we implement the method in parent class, but inside this method we just call the steps of our method. Step 1, step 2, and another steps. We just call these steps methods inside this template method. And if we have the different implementation of some step inside the children class, we should overwrite this step. For example, here we have, not here, in this situation, we have the same line with creation of string description. I can create the method with this line and call it step 1. And this step will be the same for both children. It means that this step 1 I can implement inside the shop item. The step 2 with add name or title of my device or book. It's not the same. That's why this step will be override here in the device and here in the book. Override. Step 3, here I think we can use the same but with parameters, because here we have only one difference. Here we use device word and here we use book. That's why we can just use some parameter and implement this step 3 in the parent class. And then step 4 and another. We will have this get description inside this shop item, and this get description method will be my template method. Get description. This pattern allows us to remove the duplication code from our children classes if we have some difference between these implementations. I think it's very useful and interesting pattern. But in every way of refactoring, we have something like good effects and bad effects of this refactoring method. For example, if we try to use template method to remove the duplication code, we can delete code repeating, and I think it's good. Sometimes we can simplify and explain the steps of general algorithms, because we can name our methods not with step 1, step 2, step 3 and something else, but with good names like download image, process image with filter, save image in memory or something else. Just good naming of methods. And sometimes we can allow subclasses to easily customize the algorithm, but we can make our project more complex, and it's the minus of this approach, because sometimes, like in this example, we have such simple steps with only 1 lines of code, so maybe it's not a problem. Maybe we can use this code without any refactoring. If we will create lots of little methods with only 1 line inside it, maybe it's not so required for us. Maybe it's better to do nothing in this situation. And every time when you decide to refactor something or to not refactor something, you should think a lot. Will your code be more readable or not? Maybe you will create the more complex system. Maybe you will use more complex solution, and it will make your code not better but worse. Please don't forget about it. And the next example of duplication code, it's more complex than previous. And imagine that we have such hierarchy of classes. Here it's a classes for testing, but I think it's not important for us. It's just classes, it's just example. And here we have again the same method like this one and this one, with only one difference. It's the same method, but only in 1 line of code we have differences between these 2 methods. In one method we create new new object of class DOM-Builder, and in the second we create new object of class XML Builder. And another lines of these methods are the same. What we can do in this situation? In this situation we can use the same solution as in previous example, but with a little difference, because here we have the differences between these 2 methods only with line in which we create something. We build new object. That's why we can use factory method and template method. It means that we use 2 design patterns to solve one problem. It's normal, why not? Because here we need them, and we will create single version of method in the superclass, but this method will call another method like step in previous example, but this method will be factory method. Factory method means that we have method which only creates something for us, and that's all. It's only one work for this method to create new object and return it to us. It's a factory method. This method of refactoring is from book Kirievsky. I will send the links to this book to you. I think it's a great book because I've understood all design patterns only after the reading of this book, and I recommended it. So this is a diagram of factory method which we can find in the book about design patterns or in Wikipedia, for example, but as far I told you in the previous lesson, I think it's too complex for our system, because we just need one factory method to create new object. We don't need some products or something else. That's why in this situation, this is a diagram of our example. Here we have this difference, and we can just create factory methods. This one, it's a factory method because this method just create new object and return it to us. And we can run this factory method in our template method, which we create here in our parent class. It's solution the same like in previous example, with only one little thing. We create not usual step, but factory method, because this method should create something for us. I hope that it's clear. And again, in every method of refactoring, we have problems and we have something good. For example, here we can reduce code duplication. We have effectively indicate when we create something, because we create a factory method, and we can find this place when we create something with the name of this method. Why it's important for us? Because when one object create another object, it's the most hard type of dependency. It's a dependency of creation. And it's better to decrease the number of dependency of creation in your system. That's why we use dependency injection and other mechanisms. That's why if we should create something in one object, it's better to highlight this part and to know that we create something here. And this method of refactoring, this creation of factory methods, allows us to do it. It indicates which type of class should be implemented, but sometimes to create new object in our factory method, we should pass extra parameters to it. It may be complex a little, but it's a little minus of this refactoring method. The next example, please read this code. Here we have class with a lot of constructors, and these constructors difference with the count, with the number of parameters. I think it's a normal situation for some libraries when we create class and create a lot of parameters. Of course, in some languages we have default values for parameters, but in old version of Java we had not it. That's why usually we created something like this, a lot of constructors with the different number of parameters. But you can see that here we have a lot of duplication code. Please, how do you think? How we can remove this duplication code? I think you have not idea. It's sad, but okay. Here we can use special pattern. It's not from your design pattern course. It's not from book about patterns. It's a solution of internet, and we can name it chain constructors. Sometimes if we need a lot of constructors of some class, but we don't want to create a lot of code duplication, we can use this pattern, chain constructors. It means that in one constructor we call another. In this, with two parameters, we call again another, and we create the chain of constructors inside our class. and we remove all code duplication, because all implementation we have here in the third version of our constructor with the most long list of parameters. This is the chain constructors pattern. You can use it if your language does not allow you to implement default values of parameters of your constructors, for example. And the next example of duplication code. Here we have special hierarchy of object, again from front end, I think. Here we have class Doom Builder and XML Builder, and Doom Builder does something with elements, and XML Builder works with tag node. And we understand that our element is something like tag node, but with another interface. It has another methods. We understand that set attribute or add child is the same like append child, but this interface has another naming of methods, and we can't change this interface because, for example, we use a third-party library. We have not source code, we can just use this interface and methods, and that's all. How we can change the situation and remove the duplication code? I think we have a lot of duplication code here because we work with different objects in the same way. Here we can use design pattern again. Maybe you have ideas what design pattern we can use if we work with objects which is similar but have another interface. Not ideas. It's too a lot of refactoring for one day. Okay, I hope that you remember about pattern which we call adapter. It's a special pattern which allows us to work with some objects with different interfaces but in the same way. How it looks like? We create special class adapter, and inside this adapter we call methods of class which we want to adaptee. And in our situation we can create adapter for our element interface, and when we run some method of this adapter, inside them we just call the method of our element. And this element adapter has the same interface as a tag node, this one. It means that our Doom Builder and our XML Builder will do the same. This method will be the same absolutely because they works with the same interface. It means that we can move this method into our abstract builder and remove this duplication. I hope that you understand this solution. If you don't understand, you can read the book or watch this lecture again. And as usual, we have some troubles with this refactoring method and we have some good inside it. We can use these refactoring methods when two class performs the same or similar actions, when they use the same interface but we want to make this interface simpler just because interface is too complex, we think. But And we can use this adapter when we can't just change the interface of our class. Like in this example, we can't just change the element because it's from another library and we have not any source code. With this refactoring method, we can remove or reduce code duplication. We can simplify our code and unify the way of interaction with different classes. But as usual, we have a bad in this solution because it can complicate the project if we work not with third-party library and we can just change our class to add the same interface inside it without pattern adapter. It's the last method of removing duplication code. Please find the applications which you will refactor, analyze, and create tests for it, because tomorrow in the classroom in the university you will start to implement the first laboratory project. You will need your applications. I will explain you how we should implement the first laboratory project, what you should do, how you should analyze it, and tomorrow you will try to find the duplication code example inside your code. I hope it's clear. See you tomorrow. I will publish this video before a few minutes. If you will have questions about is it this project useful for laboratory project or not, or something else, please write to the chat or to me in private messages. Do you have any questions?